Hi, it's Kay of Kay's Creative Home. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another DIY wreath made from this Dollar Tree pumpkin frame. All right, let's get started. When I opened this green ribbon from Dollar Tree, I was pleasantly surprised with just how nice it was. This is really a quality ribbon. It almost has like a linen look and feel. So I decided I wanted to use it as the backdrop for my pumpkin, and I'm going to use it with the burnt orange color ribbon to try to do a woven background effect. So I'm going to do first I'm going to do 4 rows of the green ribbon, and I'm going to glue it to each side of the pumpkin, and it'll just be along the back. And then I'm going to come back with the burnt orange. So we've got the first 4 rows of the green ribbon attached on the sides, and I'm going to just trim it up, make everything look nice and neat. Next, I'm going to take this burnt orange ribbon and I'm going to run it up and down the pumpkin, weaving it in and out of the green ribbon. And you're going to see that at the top and at the bottom, I kind of tuck it in a little bit on each side so that it will fit into the space that I'm allotted between these pumpkin wires. Now that I've got my 3 vertical rows in with the burnt orange, I'm going to tuck the bottoms of the raw edge under, and I'm actually going to glue them down on the back side of the pumpkin. So I have this case of mixed wooden beads that I got from Walmart probably a few years ago. I had them for making jewelry. And I'm going to separate out these small cylinder beads that are in like a cream and tan color. So it's kind of two-tone. And I'm going to use these on my pumpkin. So I've got them all sorted out, and now the next thing I need to do is clip this wire on this pumpkin, and it was a lot harder than I thought it would be. I left about 1/4 of an inch of the wire attached to the frame so I'd be able to put a last bead right down to the frame, and I'm just now sliding these beads onto the wire, and I'm going to do that for all of the wires on the front of the pumpkin. And I'm just putting them on in any random order as I pick them up. So now that all of my wires are fully loaded with beads, I'm taking that last bead off, putting on some hot glue, and then reattaching it. I'm taking the bead off of the frame and putting some hot glue, putting that back, and then I'm gluing those 2 beads together. And I'm going to do that for each one. Last bead on the wire gets glued, the bead against the frame gets glued, and then those 2 beads get attached and glued together. so that all of my wired frame look like it's never been detached. So I decided to let those beads and that glue dry overnight. It's the next day, and I picked out some of the leaves I had gotten from Dollar Tree, and I decided upon these darker maple leaves. I thought they would be perfect against the darker ribbons in the background. So I'm going to just kind of fluff them up a bit, and then I'm going to lay them in here to see how I like them. Squeezing them. I was trying to get it underneath the ribbon. It wasn't working as one big bunch of flowers. So I'm just laying them both in there, kind of spreading them across the bottom to see how they look. And I fluffed and played with them a little while, and once I decided I liked them, I began to cut the wires off. Well, cut the stems, that large stem, off of the bottom of the bush, so that they would, you know, each branch, each leaf would be on their own individual stem. Now begin tucking each individual stem underneath the ribbon so that the stem would be hidden on the back of the wreath. So with the leaves arranged as I wanted them on the front, I began to glue the stems onto the back so that would hold them in place. And later you'll see that I actually clipped those stems. So this is how the wreath is looking now. And then I decided I wanted to add some of these white pumpkins from Dollar Tree into that leaf foliage so that it wouldn't look so dark. This will just kind of help to brighten it up a bit, just like the beads on the front. So they come with little clips on the back. I love these things with the little clips. So I'm actually just clipping it onto some of the stem of the leaves. So the next thing I want to do is make a bow topper, and I'm just putting a loop up there against the top of the frame to see how big I want that loop to be. And I'm going to do what's called a funky bow. So I'm going to cut some strips of the burnt orange. I don't have much left of the green, so I think I want to get one strip out of the green. Yeah, one strip left. And then this lighter ribbon. All three of them are from Dollar Tree, but the lighter ribbon will again help to brighten up the wreath. So I'm going to do, I believe I cut 4 strips of that. Next step is to just cut the dovetails into the bottom. I'm going to do all of those, get them ready, and then we'll put this bow together. So to make this bow, you grab each piece of your ribbon, you fold it in half so that you have a loop on one side and the dovetails on the other, and you begin to just cinch them in the middle, and you cinch them in the middle and you hold them together in your hands. You try to lay them on top of each other. Sometimes it's difficult, or at least it is for me to grip them that way. So the main point of it is to kind of flip them. So like the first 2 I put in, the bow was on one end, the dovetails on the other, and then the next 2, the bows were on the opposite end and the dovetails were on the other. So if you look at what I have in my hand right now, you see both the loops and the dovetails. So I've gotten them all together, and I just twisted it there to get them nice and tight in this pipe cleaner that's going to hold it together. And now I'm just going to fluff, fluff, fluff until I get it like I like it to look. The green one is going to be in the back. The burnt orange will be next, and then that lighter white ribbon with the leaves will be in the front to help to, again, brighten up this pumpkin. So now that I've got it fluffed up the way I like it, I'm going to attach it with that pipe cleaner that I'm actually using to hold it together. So I'm going to just kind of arrange it in between these wires. I'm attaching it right at the top of the pumpkin, right below the stem, at the bottom of where the stem is located. And since I had this one little piece of green ribbon left over, I decided to glue this on the back to cover up where the stems from the flowers are, so that they will not be scratching my door. It's nothing worse than you put up a wreath and then at the end of the season you take it down, you got all these marks in your door, you need to repaint it. That's not fun. So here it is, my completed wreath. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think, especially if you've done a wreath using this pumpkin frame from Dollar Tree. I would love to see what you came up with. I'm enjoying doing different things with this frame. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. That's how our channels grow here. And if you'd like to see what else I have coming your way for fall, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll be notified as I release new videos. My special project for the fall is to get the front porch area done. So if you're interested in seeing what I come up with for that, please become a family member by subscribing. All right, I thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll be talking with you again real soon.